Wednesdays are not going to feel the same without this series. It's like I'm losing one of my personal favorite series. It's done. I know the manga is ongoing, and I already know there's many Chibits that are already telling me to start the manga. And I want to start the manga. But damn, the finale of this episode, though. That's some game-changing shit that this episode did. Like, this is some really... There's no going back. Like, there is no going back to happy times. I mean, we already know it wasn't, especially with these last two arcs. But this final episode, it changes everything. You just cannot go back to happy times now because of this episode alone. This alone concretes the fact that we can't go back to those one-episode arcs with, comedy and happiness that we saw earlier on in Gintama. And I feel like that's what makes me so sad when I see this episode. Sad, but it's awesome. And this finale, it's very bittersweet. It makes me sad to see it end. But also at the exact same time, I'm glad, as I've said, that Studio Sunrise is deciding to take a break with the anime. Because, as I've been told, is we're a little bit close to, the manga. Like, we're a little bit close, and if, Studio Sunrise continues on this path, they're going to catch up. And as we all know by now, when a studio catches up with a manga that is ongoing, there usually is a couple of things that can happen. For one, either A, the anime goes on filler. It goes on a long filler arc. For instance, Naruto. Perfect example. Fucking filler hell. Example number 2. The anime decides to write its own story, Fullmetal Alchemist, the first one, and decides to end it prematurely or end it in a different way that wasn't actually intended for the series to begin with. For instance, Fullmetal Alchemist. So, that could possibly happen. Number 3, the anime goes on hiatus, and you wait for a while until the content builds up before they can adapt more. For instance, what Madhouse Studio did for Hunter x Hunter. So overall, I'm actually very, very happy that Studio Sunrise took this route and decided to put Gintama on hold. It's such a quality series, and the filler of Gintama is fucking amazing. And it's easy to do filler for Gintama, and it's some very fucking good filler. The production team and the team that works on Gintama, they really put in some good work when it comes to filler arcs. I love the filler of Gintama, but I respect their decision for not doing that. For one, the main reason why I respect this is because filler at this time would just not make any sense at all. It'd be exactly what goes on with Naruto at this time, or how Bleach filler arcs are done, like in the middle of something, and it just wouldn't make much sense with the tone that Gintama sets up. And when it comes to Gintama, I feel like the production team has gotten quite used to how the tone should be when it comes to filler, how they present the anime. They've gotten very good at it over the years, and you can definitely see that they put some quality work into it. And so they don't usually just throw in some random nonsense here and there. And so I respect how they didn't decide to, do the easy route, milk Gintama for what it's worth, and, just, do filler arcs over and over until it finally builds up content for they can make more anime. I'm very glad that, they decide, let's put on hiatus, and let's save it until we have, the series is done. And if I had to place any bets, we're probably not going to get any more new anime of Gintama for a very, very long time. I'm willing to bet we'll probably get a movie of some sort. There might be another movie, maybe 2 movies depending. But besides that, if we're ever going to have another anime, which I assume we are going to have another one, it most likely is going to be when the manga ends. Since the mangaka has recently come out and said that, he's entering the final arc of the series, or soon to be entering the final arc, that lets us know that the series will be coming to an end very soon, and Studio Sunrise is most likely putting Gintama on hold until the series is done. So if I had to place any bets, I'm going to assume that we might see Gintama's anime back sometime in 2017, maybe 2018, one or the other there, but it's definitely probably not going to come back in 2016 unless the manga ends 1 to 2 months from now. That's the only way I could see it. But for now, though, talking about other things in general, the final episode, it's a great meaning and setup for what is to come, the final stretch of Gintama. The main point of this arc was letting us know that the Shinsengumi is no longer there. They are gone. They will no longer be in Edo to protect it. They won't be there to be with odd jobs or anyone else to have fun. They won't be there. They're no longer there. They can no longer be there because they're being hunted, and if they stay there, they will be in the exact same situation as what happened in this arc. For instance, most likely getting assassinated or killed or, put up for execution, what was happening to Kondo. So, I mean, overall, the meaning of this final episode has a lot of weight to it because they can no longer come back. And the main goal at the end of this episode is that the Shinsengumi, they have broken apart. Farewell to that organization, which fits with the arc's name. They are now going off around the countryside to find more people that want to join their cause and change the government, which is like the final part before the finale of the series. Like, you could really see the finale in the works here when it comes to some of the setup with this final arc and the last arc. I mean, you have it to where the game-changing stuff with the Shogun, and then now with this, the Shinsengumi and the other police force, they're gone as well. They can no longer operate like they used to. There's a new police force. Odd jobs can no longer do what they normally do, so forth. And so with all this being set up, it's finally entering into that in-game. You know it's the in-game. You can feel it's the in-game, even if it wasn't said and it wasn't already announced. You already know it's entering that final stretch, that in-game that's been building up for a very long time. But on top of this, too, the other game-changing stuff we've gotten recently is the stuff with Shoyo, or whoever this Crow guy is. And right now, with this reveal, that's the biggest mystery right now, because with this person that has like Majin Buu type regeneration, or maybe not to that extent, maybe somewhat similar to Cell or whatever, high accelerated regen, whatever the case may be, this dude that is playing to be Shoyo, or might be Shoyo, there's a lot of mystery wrapped around that, and I feel like the final stretch of the series is going to be focusing on that discovery. Maybe Gin, while, we might get an arc focused on him trying to hunt down more reasons to what really happened in the past, we might have a straight-up full flashback arc discussing how this is fucking possible. I could see something like that happening. But getting back into other things, though, like back on to, the Shinsengumi and how they're splitting up, I love how this episode takes the time for, like, farewells. Even though it was said that this isn't farewell. Like, they were making it very clear that this is not farewell. I love how this is the final episode, and then they were trying to let us know that this isn't farewell. It was multiple meanings behind this. For one, it was meanings to the characters talking, intermingling, saying this isn't farewell. But I also feel like Studio Sunrise, the way they presented this episode, made it seem like this isn't farewell for the anime. And I love how they handled that. That was fucking awesome. But some of the scenes, though, especially like Hijikata and Gintoki's scene, those scenes are so beautiful. So fucking beautiful. The scene that really just crushed my heart, like, it really just wrecked me. Like, I mean, it's like Studio Sunrise grabbed their fucking fist, like, they balled up their fist or whatever. That wasn't grabbing their fist. I don't know what the fuck I was talking about. But they balled up their fucking fist, and they just shoved it right in between my fucking ribcage, shattered my bones, and ripped out my fucking heart. And that's exactly what that scene with Hijikata and Gintoki did to me. When you saw them both get the food, like their preferred food, and when they give it to each other, and they both eat it, you could tell that they didn't like it, they didn't like eating it, but the way they smile and laugh with each other, that was a very fucking sad moment, because it almost brought me to tears. I'm almost in tears, I know. It's sad because you see these characters of how they bickered, how they bitched, these comedy scenes they've had in the past, and these exact same situations to where the orders are messed up. There's a lot of similarities here, but completely a little bit different how it was done in the past, and just seeing how they both gave each other their own food that was actually finally given to them right, and when they start eating on it, it was a beautiful scene to show these two how they're connected and all that. Very good stuff right there. And then the stuff with, Kondo, and then, Sasaki, and then Nobume, and then her salute and all that. It's just very good shit overall. Very good content throughout this episode. So, this episode was more like a farewell to Sasaki and his character, but also this isn't a goodbye to the series. So, very good, Studio Sunrise. You outdid yourself. I love your previous work with Gintama. I loved what you did with the other episodes before, Gintama 2015 came out. But I gotta say right now, what you did for this season was leaps and bounds above a lot of studios I've seen in this past year I've been reviewing anime. Definitely some high quality shit we have been witnessing throughout the entirety of Gintama since its return. And I'm not just talking about these serious arcs, I'm talking also about the comedy arcs we got too. Very good stuff we got. And it's hard to believe, it's been a very long time since we've actually seen a comedy episode. It really just like, holy shit, what happened to Gintama? That was constantly laughs and joy. I mean, there's comedy here and there, but nowhere near like we're used to. And that's also surprising when you take a moment to realize that we haven't seen like comedy since like, God, was it like October last year? Was it October? November? It's a long time ago. It was a very fucking long time ago. Really, take a moment to factor that in. This is March, the end of March. Was the last time we saw comedy, like real good comedy, like an arc or anything focused on comedy? Wasn't it in November? I think it was. Oh shit, it has been a lot longer than I thought. So yeah, this is my farewell for now for the anime of Gintama. This isn't completely goodbye, just like how the meaning of the episode was double meaning to different things. This isn't my goodbye to Gintama. And when there is ever another anime series, of course, I will pick it up, and of course, I'm going to fucking read it. Unless something happens to me that I can't do it, then yeah, don't worry. I'm definitely going to come back and talk about Gintama. It's a series I love. In one of my top 10, definitely. It's in my top 10. So, if there's a movie as well, definitely going to review that as well. I love the movie. I love Part 2. I don't know why I haven't reviewed Part 2, the movie 2, or whatever. That was a fucking wonderful movie. I watched it like 4 times. I have no idea. Don't judge me. So, yeah, manga. Let's discuss the manga real quick, because I know many of you are going to be, spamming me in the comments below about that. So, about the manga situation. I don't know. I want to read it, obviously. I want to read the manga. And I with the ending of this, it's fucking just gets me. I'll see. I'll see how much. Let me ask the Chibits right now. I'm gonna ask this question: how many chapters is left that I have to read to catch up? It really depends on that. Let me know, and also, please don't spoil, but, like, how many chapters and how many arcs or so, because that's something I'm very curious about, because if there's, like, maybe 20 chapters ahead or whatever, that's easy shit. I can read that in about, God. Well, no, you know what, I can't read that fast, because Gintama usually takes a moment. You gotta really look into it, you gotta look at the meaning of something, so it could take a little bit, but there's 20-something chapters. I could probably read that about in a day, or less, or probably, maybe 2 days at the max. It just really depends on the content that it is, how I need to dive into it or whatever, but for the most part, though, let me know in the comments below. It's been a very fun ride, and thank you all the Chibits that, recommended me to start Gintama. If it wasn't for so many of you before Gintama 2015 came out, before the announcement, I probably wouldn't have started this series. I'm not even joking. So it was thanks to a bunch of you original Chibits a long time ago that told me I need to start Gintama in 2015. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here right now. So thank you for that. Thank you for allowing me to find this series. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Until then, farewell. Chibi out.